With the highly anticipated Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse movie set to release in June of 2027, hopefully without any more delays, I think we should take a step back and view this trilogy as a whole instead of three separate films. The Spider-Verse trilogy is far more important than I had initially thought. It's not just a masterpiece of animation and storytelling, it's a whole movement in modern filmmaking, voicing the issues that artists and a whole community of creative individuals are facing today. The films themselves serve as an argument and the answer for said argument, and everyone else is almost forced to agree because of their undeniable success. Well, there are some people who are still in denial, but as the wise Charlie always says, it's not a crime to have shitty taste. Into the Spider-Verse was obviously an instant critical success, and I think you know the rest. A whole lot of Oscar nominations and wins, crazy box office numbers, and whatever crazy charts or stats that followed. But that's not where it stopped. None of these achievements are as important as its influence. The Spider-Verse movies are known for one thing above all else: their art style. The groundbreaking feats in animation and the prioritization in visual storytelling that elevates not only the action sequences, but also the intimate character-driven moments. The way every frame in each scene has small 2D text and graphics is like reading an immersive comic book panel rather than watching a movie. And how they utilize animation techniques as a storytelling device rather than a manual to follow is what made this movie so unique and different from all the other animated films. There was a rebellious nature to this film. They refused to follow the rest of the big animation studios that focused on photorealism. And it wasn't just the animation or visuals. They took a Spider-Man story and created something far more interesting. Into the Spider-Verse isn't just any old Spider-Man movie about the multiverse. It's about the endless possibility of human creativity that is suppressed by expectations from authority figures. This movie showed everyone what was possible if you let creativity flourish by taking risks rather than being safe. And that's exactly what was meant by the leap of faith in this film. Miles taking the leap of faith is the same as the creators of these films taking a leap of faith in their creative endeavor. They refused the limitations and constraints that were being put on them, so they decided to break the rules and push boundaries, and the aftermath of their rebellion speaks for itself. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Arcane: The Bad Guys, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Wild Robot, K-pop Demon Hunters, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Flow. All of these great films and shows are possible because Into the Spider-Verse showed large studios that you can have your cake and eat it too, and it told small indie creators that they can wear the mask. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller hired a 14-year-old kid from Canada to do a whole Spider-Man LEGO Universe sequence because they were impressed by his splendid recreation of Across the Spider-Verse's trailer. If that's not a testament to their beliefs and a real-life case of you can wear the mask, I don't know what is. If the first movie served as a claim for the argument, then Across the Spider-Verse is the evidence. This movie took the rebelliousness to another level, but that was the whole point. It was the rebelliousness and the consequences that came with it. This movie focuses on labels, titles, and identities. But instead of putting these titles, like Spider-Man, Police Captain, Leader, Hero, and Savior, on a pedestal, it criticizes them. A human being's whole identity and purpose can't be defined by any one category or title. And the same goes for the characters portrayed in these movies. Gwen isn't a murderer, or a dangerous criminal, or a bad friend. She is a character with complex feelings and emotions who makes mistakes, but also tries to fix them. The Spot isn't just a silly bad guy, or a villain of the week, or Spider-Man's nemesis. He is a victim of bad circumstances, and a flawed person. Miles isn't just an anomaly, a mistake, or a kid. He is someone who aspires to be great, and be accepted among those whom he thinks are great. Hobie is the best example of this. It's genuinely amazing how a film that is already so unique and expressive introduces a single character who is even more unique and expressive, differentiating him from almost every environment he is in. His character is the antithesis to conformity, labels, ideologies, and literally everything. The constant moving parts in Hobie's design illustrate the idea that nothing is set in stone for him, and things are always in motion. It's hard to keep up with a character like him, for the other characters and even the audience. With his English accent and quick, choppy dialogue, everything about him is out of the norm, even for a film like this. So when you have a character like this, it's hard to put him in any one box. He's not cool because he's Spider-Punk, or a superhero. He's cool because he is. But it doesn't stop with the titles. The whole idea of canon events is a direct argument against formulaic and unoriginal way of writing stories. Origin stories are a great example of this, and it is explicitly shown in the movie. As much as I love Spider-Man's origin story, I don't think it has to be told the same way every time. His or her loss of an uncle, a friend, or a parent doesn't need to be what defines them as a character. I think the phrase, "with great power comes great responsibility," can be understood even by a teenager without needing a devastating loss. It may take more time for them to fully grasp this concept, but in time, it can be grasped. And this can go for any other comic book character. The idea of destiny or a fixed path is flawed. That's the idea Miles, Gwen, Hobie, and the gang are in direct opposition of. After Gwen's dad quits his job, she quickly realizes that Miguel's canon event theory is flawed. Even with all his fancy futuristic tech, he doesn't actually know what the nature of the multiverse is, and if disrupting canon events is truly a universal threat. All he has is one horrible experience, and the fear he gained from it. So his every move to protect the multiverse from collapse is based on ignorance and fear. Miguel O'Hara is the embodiment of the corporations and authority figures that are afraid of change, unknowns, and risks. And Miles, being the quote-unquote original anomaly, is the embodiment of the unknown and Miguel's fears. The first two movies were so compelling in their messaging that the entire trilogy didn't even need to finish for people to understand and get inspired by them. Now I think Beyond the Spider-Verse will be the best conclusion to Miles' story and the argument that they are trying to convey. Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to show us that we can go beyond the boundaries that have been set, and not simply follow what's already been established.